What is up, investors? Jason here. So in this video, we're going to be talking about NIO stock as well as talk a little bit about XPENG, Li Auto as well. There's a lot going on over in the EV space. It's been a while since we talked about EV. We've been talking a lot about cryptocurrencies lately, and I'm going to do more of a balance of stocks and crypto for now on, trying to do a lot more videos on this channel. But I also want to say welcome to the new studio, by the way. I do have a lot of things in the works, a sit-down podcast also coming here in the future. So please do consider subscribing because a lot of great things to look forward to. But we're going to talk about what's going on with with NIO's price, XPENG's price, Li Auto's price. They've taken a big hit, and I think it's very important to talk about the overall market, especially with things like the Chinese stocks, talk about delisting and other things like that. So as we do get to it, if you don't mind, please do me a huge favor. Please be sure to smash this story, annihilate, or just gently press that like button. It helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Help spread these videos to more people that might find it interesting, and subscribe if you have not already. Now let's get to this. So looking at the EV stocks here, we can see that everything pretty much has been in the red, and it's a big difference for 2021 in comparison to how 2020 was acting, because in 2020 you could buy an EV stock for the most part and it would just continue going up. It was just an amazing year for 2020, and we just seen a lot of pullback happen here this year. So looking at how we're ending 2021 with NIO, for example, here going down in comparison to how we were seeing 2020 ending with NIO, where it was just going up, where we saw NIO reach its all-time high in January of 2021. At that time, the price was about $67, and looking at how it's dropped down more than half of that price currently here at the end of 2021, you can see that it's just been a completely different tune in comparison. And I was expecting to see NIO's price continue going up. I thought it was going to be a lot more of a bullish play going on in this year. I was expecting just great things to continue happening for NIO, but it's just been a bit of a disaster for the most part for a lot of these Chinese EV stocks. So there has been an issue with the way that Chinese companies are listed here in the United States. Now, it's not a normal type of listing like you would see a U.S. company going public and, you know, raising money in a public offering. These Chinese companies usually go through a different route. There's sometimes a completely different company set up just for the purpose of taking it public. So there's a bit of different strings that are pulled there to make this stuff happen. Now, over the summer, you guys probably remember me talking about DIDI Global, ticker symbol DIDI. It's a Chinese ride-sharing company that is invested into by Uber and then many large Chinese companies like Tencent, Alibaba. They're invested in them as well. And the Chinese government wasn't too pleased with the way that DIDI Global went public here in the United States. There's a lot of issues that they were concerned about with them sharing so much information, since they have a lot of user information that they deal with, and they got their own regulations put on them by the Chinese government, including everybody else that pretty much did business with them. So we saw that being an issue with Tencent and Alibaba as well. So it was a really big deal, and it was a really big IPO when it actually did happen. Pretty much after it IPO'd, we just had one good day, and then the rest was not great after that. But anyways, so recently announced is that DIDI Global is going to be delisting itself. So the American depository receipts of several Chinese companies fell sharply Friday after ride-hauling group DIDI Global said it will delist from the New York Stock Exchange while pursuing a listing in Hong Kong. So this has pretty much led into a lot of these other Chinese companies also dropping a lot, because this is basically a possibility of who is going to be next for a delisting. And if you're holding shares of NIO or anybody else, you're also at risk of those stocks possibly being delisted. Now, obviously, DIDI isn't the one necessarily to be the bad apple that's messing up for everybody else, but it definitely does contribute to these problems that we're seeing with these Chinese stocks. Now, it is too bad, though, that we're seeing such a big drop in the prices of NIO, XPENG, and Li Auto, because those companies have done such amazing things this year. Now, looking over at NIO and looking at their November delivery numbers, how they just reported on Wednesday that they delivered 10,878 electric vehicles in November, up 105.6% from the same month last year. The month's deliveries included 2,683 ES8 units, 4,713 ES6s, and 3,482 EC6s. The Chinese automaker also said that it had delivered 80,940 vehicles year to date in 2021, up 120.4% from a year ago. So they're doing big things right now in comparison where they were at last year when their stock was worth so much more. And it's just too bad that this issue right now is happening and so many investors are losing money from when they were very bullish buying it last year. It's nothing that we want to see at any time. Now, luckily for NIO's competitors, XPENG and Li Auto, it's a bit of a different situation for their stock performance, but they're still dropping with everything that is going on. But looking at their stock from over the year, they're both pretty much mirroring each other in the performance. Here's XPENG and then here's Li Auto. They're doing exactly day by day, very similar movements in their growth. Now, to look over at how much these companies have actually grown as far as their production in comparison to where they were at around this time last year, just look at the price of their stock. For XPENG, for example, their stock was around $75 back in November of 2020. And this was at a time where their deliveries were a lot less than they currently are. Looking at their deliveries for the month of November, their deliveries have surged 270% this year versus last year. They said that they delivered 15,613 electric vehicles in November, representing a 270% increase from the previous year. November deliveries consisted of 7,839 units of the P7 sports sedan, 2,154 P5 family sedans, and 5,546 G3i sport utility vehicles. Year to date, total deliveries reached 82,155, bringing cumulative deliveries to 121,953 as of the end of November. And in the case of Li Auto, Li said that they delivered 13,485 units of its Li 1 electric sport utility vehicle in November, up 190.2% from a year earlier. A total of 76,404 vehicles were delivered in January to November period, taking cumulative deliveries to 110,001. Now, in the case of all three of these companies, NIO, XPENG, Li Auto, they have a lot of big things in store for them in 2022, and hopefully everything that's going on right now does fizzle out. We'll have to see how it does all play out, but I'm still bullish on them. I think that there's still a lot of great things in store for them, and hopefully with this whole fiasco going on with DIDI, it fizzles out and things can recover and get better from here. We'll have to see how it does play out. But I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions about what's currently going on with the market. Is there anybody out there that was invested into DIDI? Is there anybody out there that is still bullish on NIO, XPENG, and Li? I'd like to know. So with that being said, please like, share, comment, subscribe. New videos coming out on my channel all the time. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video coming very soon. Thank you for watching.